In the peaceful village of Umudike, tucked away and surrounded by nature, lived a man named Obinna and his wife Chika. Umudike was a place where everyone knew everyone else, and news spread quickly, whether good or bad. Obinna was a farmer, strong and hardworking, but his heart had grown cold over the years. He never smiled, never laughed, and his words were often sharp and harsh. Chika, his wife, was a beautiful woman with a kind heart. She worked tirelessly beside her husband, tending to the fields, cooking, and keeping their small home clean and welcoming. But despite all her efforts, Obinna never saw anything good in Chika. He never complimented her, never thanked her for her hard work, and never showed her love in any way. Day after day, Chika would wake up before the sun, prepare breakfast for Obinna, and work in the fields until her hands were rough. Yet, all she received from Obinna were complaints. "Chika, why is the yam pottage too salty?" Obinna would grumble as he ate. "Chika, you didn't weed the farm well enough. What have you been doing all day?" He would snap when he returned from the village square. Chika would lower her head and accept his harsh words without protest. She loved Obinna and believed that one day he would see her worth and appreciate all she did for him. But as the years went by, Chika's hope began to fade. The once vibrant and joyful woman slowly became a shadow of her former self. Her laughter disappeared, and her eyes, once bright with life, now held a deep sadness. Chika's loneliness grew heavier with each passing day. In the village, women would gather at the stream to wash clothes and share stories. They would laugh and talk about their husbands and children. But Chika always felt out of place among them. She couldn't join in their happiness because she had none of her own. "Chika, you are so quiet these days," her friend Amaka would say, concern in her voice. "Is everything all right at home?" Chika would force a smile and nod. "Yes, everything is fine. I'm just tired from all the work." But Amaka knew better. She could see the pain in Chika's eyes, the way her shoulders slumped as if she carried the weight of the world on them. Amaka wished she could help, but she knew that Chika's troubles were not ones that could easily be solved. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a deep shade of orange, Chika sat outside their small house, watching the stars slowly appear. She thought about her life, about the love she had once dreamed of, and the reality she now faced. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she quickly wiped them away when she heard Obinna's heavy footsteps approaching. "What are you doing here sitting like a lazy woman? There's still work to be done inside." Obinna barked as he walked past her. Chika stood up quickly and followed him inside, her heart heavy with sorrow. She wished for a kind word, a gentle touch, but Obinna offered her nothing but coldness. She wondered if he would even notice if she disappeared one day, or if he would continue his life as if she had never existed. One day, a stranger arrived in Umudike. He was a tall man with a friendly smile and a warm demeanor. His name was Nnamdi, and he had come to the village to work as a carpenter. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, happy to have a new face among them. Nnamdi quickly became known for his skillful work, building and repairing houses with precision and care. But it wasn't just his carpentry that caught people's attention. Nnamdi had a way of making everyone around him feel special. He would greet the women at the stream with a respectful bow, complimenting their hard work. He would help the elders carry heavy loads and play with the children who adored him. It wasn't long before Nnamdi noticed Chika. He saw the way she moved quietly and gracefully, and how she always kept her head down as if she were afraid of being seen. He observed the sadness in her eyes and the way she rarely smiled. One afternoon, as Chika was returning from the market, Nnamdi approached her. "Good afternoon, Madam Chika." He greeted her with a warm smile. Chika was surprised. She wasn't used to anyone, especially a man, speaking to her with such kindness. Good afternoon, Nnamdi," she stammered, not sure how to respond. "I've seen you around the village, always working so hard. You have a strength about you that is admirable," Nnamdi said, his voice sincere. Chika blushed, not knowing what to say. No one had ever complimented her like that before. She felt a warmth in her chest, something she hadn't felt in a long time. "Thank you," she mumbled, her eyes fixed on the ground. Nnamdi continued to engage her in conversation, asking about her day and how she was doing. Chika found herself opening up to him, telling him about her work and her life in the village. For the first time in years, she felt heard, and it was a strange and wonderful feeling. As the days went by, Nnamdi continued to notice Chika, greeting her warmly whenever he saw her. He would help her carry her goods from the market or fetch water from the stream. Each small act of kindness made Chika's heart flutter, and she found herself looking forward to their encounters. But while Chika's heart was slowly being awakened, Obinna remained oblivious to the change in his wife. He continued to treat her with indifference, not noticing the light that was beginning to return to her eyes or the small smile that played on her lips whenever she thought of Nnamdi. The villagers began to notice the growing friendship between Chika and Nnamdi. Whispers and rumors started to spread like wildfire. Some people gossiped about how Nnamdi was too friendly with a married woman, while others remarked on how Chika seemed happier than she had in years. One evening, as Chika and Nnamdi walked back from the market together, they passed a group of women who were sitting outside their homes chatting. The women fell silent as they saw the two of them, and Chika could feel their eyes on her. She felt a pang of guilt, knowing that people were talking about her. She couldn't help the way her heart leaped whenever she was with Nnamdi. "Is it true that you are spending a lot of time with Nnamdi?" Amaka asked cautiously the next day as they washed clothes at the stream. Chika hesitated, unsure of how to respond. "We've become friends, Amaka. He's kind to me and he listens to me, but I haven't done anything wrong." Amaka looked at her friend with concern. "I know, Chika, but people are talking. They are saying things that could ruin your reputation. You need to be careful." Chika nodded, understanding the weight of Amaka's words. She knew that in their village, a woman's reputation was everything. But she also knew that Nnamdi's kindness had brought her more joy than she had felt in years. It was a difficult choice, and one that weighed heavily on her heart. Meanwhile, Obinna remained unaware of the rumors circulating in the village. He was too absorbed in his own world, too blind to see the subtle changes in his wife. But the village was small, and it wasn't long before the whispers reached his ears. One evening, as he sat in the village square with other men, one of the men leaned in and whispered, "Obinna, I hear that your wife is spending a lot of time with Nnamdi, the new carpenter. You might want to keep an eye on her." Obinna's face darkened at the words. He had never been a jealous man, but the thought of another man paying attention to his wife made his blood boil. He decided that it was time to confront Chika about what he had heard. That night, when Chika returned from the stream, she found Obinna waiting for her with a stern look on his face. She could tell that something was wrong, and her heart began to race. "Chika, come here," Obinna said, his voice cold and hard. Chika approached him slowly, her hands trembling. "Yes, Obinna." "I've heard that you've been spending a lot of time with Nnamdi. What do you have to say for yourself?" he demanded, his eyes narrowing. Chika's breath caught in her throat. She had been dreading this moment, but now that it was here, she didn't know what to say. Obinna, Nnamdi is just a friend. He's been kind to me, that's all. She could barely finish her sentence before Obinna cut her off. Kind? What do you mean kind? Obinna's voice rose, his anger evident. Do you think I don't know what people are saying? That you're running around the village with another man while I'm out working hard? Chika's eyes filled with tears. She had never seen Obinna this angry, and it frightened her. Obinna, please. It's not what you think. Nnamdi is just someone who listens to me, someone who treats me with respect. But I have never been unfaithful to you. Respect? Obinna scoffed, his face contorting in a mix of anger and disbelief. You think you deserve more respect than what I give you? You think I don't notice the way you light up when he's around you? Do you think I'm blind? Chika shook her head, her tears now flowing freely. No, Obinna, I don't think that. I have always been loyal to you, even when you haven't shown me any love or kindness. I only wanted someone to talk to, someone who saw me for more than just a servant. Obinna clenched his fists, his mind a storm of emotions he didn't know how to handle. He had always taken Chika for granted, assuming she would always be there, no matter how he treated her. But now, the fear of losing her, of another man stepping into his place, gripped him in a way he had never felt before. You're my wife, Chika, he said, his voice trembling with barely contained fury. You belong to me and no one else. If I ever catch you with him again, I swear it will not end well. Chika's heart shattered at his words. She had hoped that this confrontation might open Obinna's eyes to how he had been treating her, but instead it only deepened the breach between them. She nodded weakly, not trusting herself to speak without breaking down completely. The night passed in silence. Chika lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her thoughts racing. She had never intended to cause such turmoil, but Nnamdi's kindness had been a lifeline she hadn't realized she needed. Now, it seemed that lifeline was a noose tightening around her neck. Obinna too was restless. His mind replayed the words of the men in the village, the rumors, the way Chika had spoken about Nnamdi. For the first time, he was forced to confront the possibility that his behavior might have driven a wedge between him and his wife. But his pride refused him to admit it, even to himself. The days that followed were tense and filled with unease. Obinna watched Chika closely, his suspicion growing with every passing moment. He began to monitor her movements, asking questions about where she was going and who she was with. The warmth that Nnamdi had brought into Chika's life was now overshadowed by the fear of Obinna's wrath. Chika, on the other hand, found herself avoiding Nnamdi. Though it pained her to do so, she couldn't risk giving the villagers more reasons to gossip or fueling Obinna's jealousy further. But in her heart, a longing had been awakened, a longing for love, kindness, and the gentle understanding that she had never received from Obinna. One day, as she was fetching water from the stream, she saw Nnamdi approaching her. Her heart leaped with joy, but she quickly averted her gaze, hoping he would pass by without stopping. However, Nnamdi was not that one to ignore a friend in need. Chika, wait, he called out, his voice filled with concern. You've been avoiding me. Is something wrong? Chika hesitated, not knowing how to respond. She finally turned to face him, her eyes filled with sadness. Nnamdi, I can't talk to you anymore. Obinna knows and is angry. I don't want to cause any more trouble. Nnamdi frowned, understanding the weight of her words. Chika, I never meant to cause you pain. I only wanted to be a friend, to offer you the kindness you deserve." "I know," Chika whispered, her voice trembling. "But the village is small, and people talk. I can't keep seeing you, Nnamdi. It's too dangerous." Nnamdi's heart ached at the sight of Chika's distress. He could see the depth of her unhappiness, and it pained him to think that she was trapped in a life where she was unloved and unappreciated. But he also knew that she was right. Continuing their friendship could lead to even more hardship for her. "Then I will respect your wishes, Chika," Nnamdi said softly, his eyes filled with sorrow. "But know this, you are a woman of great worth, and you deserve to be treated with love and respect. Don't ever forget that." Chika nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "Thank you, Nnamdi. You've been a true friend." With a heavy heart, Nnamdi walked away, leaving Chika to her thoughts. She watched him go, feeling a deep sense of loss. The connection she had found with Nnamdi was something she had never experienced before, and now he was gone. Days turned into weeks, and life in Umudike continued as usual. But in Obinna's household, the tension remained. Chika went about her daily tasks in silence, her once vibrant spirit now subdued. Obinna too was quieter than usual, his mind preoccupied with the state of his marriage. One evening, as they sat down to dinner, Obinna found himself watching Chika closely. He noticed the lines of fatigue on her face, the way her hands shook slightly as she served the food. For the first time, he saw the toll that his behavior had taken on her. "Chika," he began hesitantly, unsure of how to start the conversation. "I've been thinking about us." Chika looked up, surprised by the softness in his voice. "What do you mean, Obinna?" Obinna shifted uncomfortably in his seat. He was not used to expressing his feelings, and the words felt foreign on his tongue. I know I haven't been the best husband. I know I've been hard on you, but I want to change that. I don't want to lose you." Chika's heart skipped a beat. Could it be true? Was Obinna finally seeing her, truly seeing her for the first time? "I don't know if I can change overnight," Obinna continued, his voice low. "But I want to try. I want to be the husband you deserve." Chika's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were tears of hope. She had longed for this moment for so long, but she had never dared to believe it would come. "Obinna," she said softly, her voice trembling with emotions. "All I ever wanted was your love and kindness. If you're willing to try, then so am I." Obinna reached across the table and took Chika's hand in his. It was the first time in years that he had shown her such an affectionate gesture. Chika's heart swelled with a mixture of relief and cautious optimism. As they sat together in the fading light of the evening, a new sense of possibility began to bloom between them. The road ahead would not be easy, and there were many wounds to heal. But for the first time in a long time, Chika felt that there was hope for their future. In the weeks that followed, Obinna made a conscious effort to change his ways. He began to notice the little things that Chika did for him, the way she kept the house clean, the meals she prepared, the care she took in tending the farm. He started to express his appreciation, offering words of thanks and small gestures of affection that had been absent for so long. Chika too found herself softening. The bitterness that had taken root in her heart began to fade, replaced by a cautious optimism. She still missed the warmth and kindness she had found in Nnamdi, but she knew that if her marriage was to survive, she needed to focus on rebuilding the bond with Obinna. The villagers who had once gossiped about Chika and Nnamdi now noticed the change in Obinna's household. The rumors faded, replaced by a quiet admiration for the couple who had managed to find their way back to each other. Nnamdi, true to his word, kept his distance. He continued his work in the village, but he made sure to avoid situations where he might encounter Chika. It was a difficult choice, but he knew it was the right one. He wanted nothing more than for Chika to find happiness, even if it meant stepping aside. As the months passed, Chika and Obinna's relationship grew stronger. They began to share more with each other, talking late into the night about their dreams, their fears, and their hopes for the future. Obinna slowly learned to open his heart, to show the love that he had kept hidden for so long. And Chika, in turn, learned to trust that love, to believe that it was real and lasting. One evening, as they sat outside their home, watching the stars, Obinna turned to Chika and said, "I'm sorry for all the pain I've caused you. I was blind to your worth, and I took you for granted. But I see you now, Chika. I see the woman who has stood by my side, who has loved me even when I didn't deserve it, and I am grateful." Chika smiled, her heart full. "Thank you, Obinna. I've always believed that there was good in you, even when it was hard to see. I'm glad you're finding it now." They sat together in comfortable silence, the weight of the past slowly lifting from their shoulders. The journey had been long and fraught with challenges, but they had made it through together. As the night grew darker, Obinna took Chika's hand in his, a gesture that had become more frequent in recent months. They knew that there would still be challenges ahead, but they also knew that they could face them as long as they did so side by side. For Chika, the future was no longer a source of dread, but of hope. She had found her voice, her strength, and her worth. And in so doing, she had helped Obinna find his. And so, under the vast African sky, with the stars as their witnesses, Chika and Obinna began a new chapter in their lives, one filled with love, respect, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow.